G'day everyone, Kwaka John here. It's time for Wednesday live stream. G'day Alan, I'm glad you're here tonight, or today your time. Yeah, I know, it tells a story, doesn't it? Brisbane, the end of winter, 23 degrees Celsius, which shows how hot it is in summer here. And for you, that is your summer. So it shows how cold it is in winter for you, Michigan, USA. Yeah, well, Walter's normally shown up by now, so I hope he does. Yeah, I know. It's you don't want to imagine it. Believe me. Last December was the hottest month of summer last year. Normally it's January, February. February we had a lot of rain, and because that's in storm season, so that was a bit cooler. You know, it was humid, but it wasn't as hot as in December. The sun was beating down, and you know, it only gets to 35 degrees Celsius, which is what that's 60, 30, 60, 90, 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty hot, but it's actually a lot hotter because of the humidity as well. It's you sometimes it gets as high as 39 here in Brisbane, but it's pretty rare. Whilst for example, in the southern capital of Adelaide, it can get up to 40, 42. Even though that is really hot, it's not as hot as here. Yeah, the Greenhorse Hornet is running well. The I went for a ride today, as you know. Oh, Walter, good on you, mate. We hadn't spoken before the live stream, so I was hoping you'd remember. 35 is 95. Nah, it's pretty hot. We're just talking about the summer temperatures here in Brisbane. Yeah, I know. Well, I've been back in Brisbane for 20 years. I was born here, but I travelled a fair bit and I came back to Brisbane. And I'm still getting used to the summer heat here. And I grew up with it. Yeah, well, you're in, where are you? I'm at the end of winter. You're at the, you must be, yeah, at the end of, near the end of summer. Yeah, well, it's, Alan's going to hibernate his bike during the Michigan winter. Do you need to do the same thing, Walter? Because I've seen on the news in winter in Washington, D.C. that they get snow and snowstorms. Walter's in Maryland, USA. Yeah, they're the best temperatures, aren't they? Best climate. Fall, which is autumn here, and spring. I say that Brisbane's got two seasons. It doesn't have a spring or fall. It has just a summer and winter. And winter is like a mild summer with cold nights. Yeah, that's true, Alan. Yeah, I'll be showing a section of that video later in the live stream. The video that Walter took of his first ride on his bike, but I don't show the part of the storage unit where he keeps the bike. And the other section of video that I'll be showing tonight is what Alan sent in of a near accident that he had, which we'll clearly see was not his fault at all. Well, the views were down on last week's live stream, which was a real pity to see, but anyway, we'll see how we go this week. Oh, I should say to those watching the video that there's a 4-second time delay from when I say something to when the guys hear it, so there's a bit of delay in their response. And it takes Ustream 12 hours from when the video is first posted until they add the comments. They used to have a CinemaScope thing like that at the, we have a annual show, a Royal Show exhibition, where the people flock and there's rides and things. And they used to have this big circular screens, and you stood in the middle and you could see all these different scenes, like flying and being in a helicopter, being in a racing car. That's a bit like what you're talking about, Walter. So Walter's had the first ride on his bike, and which we'll see later. And Alan, you went on a couple of rides in the last week. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, another one was you're in a fire engine, in the driver's seat of a fire engine. That's going back a long way when I was a teenager. 80 milers or so. Oh, your rides. 80 miles. I hope not. That's a long ride. Oh, yeah, I could see you weren't on anymore, Walter. Or looked like you weren't anyway. I just asked Alan, I know, Walter, you had your first ride, this short ride this week. last week, and I asked Alan if he'd been on. I think he's been on a couple of rides, and he said 80 miles or so. 35 and 45 miles. Yeah, that's better. Adds up to 80 though. Yeah, well, I did 20 miles today. That was a nice ride. It took me about half an hour, I think, to go one way. Oh yeah, that was 20 miles one way, so that's 40 miles. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good distance, 40 miles. Nah, let's see, I think I did about 60, 61662. Oh, I think I did about 70 miles in one way, but I had a break in between. A break of about 20 minutes or so and a cup of coffee. Yeah, I agree. Well, you'll be doing those rides soon, Walter, once you've got your license. It's so restrictive until you get your license. 11 miles per hour. Well, that's fair enough. That's really good. That's your first time on the bike for. You used to ride, didn't you, years ago? Uh, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. So that's your first ride on a bike for many, many years. And you haven't had your learner's instruction course yet, MSF course, so that's doing really well. Ah, right. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, Walter's ready. Probably help with his balance too. Yeah, it's really restricted till you get your license, and then you've got the freedom to ride on the road wherever you want to go. Yeah. Next time you ride the bike, Walter, do you think you'll be in the same like car park area? I don't know if that was really a car park, but it was. It gave you a bit of area. Yeah. Oh, tonight. Oh, good one. Well, I'll bring up the viewer photos. There's a couple of photos of mine and others that you guys sent in. So first of all, Alan sent in these of Lake Michigan. Ah, I keep forgetting to get a photo of a Cessna. I must remember that for next week. Ah, so this is Lake Michigan. I know it doesn't have a lot to do with bikes, but it's where where Alan lives. And one view is looking to the north. Actually, I've got the wrong side. The left-hand one is looking to the north, and the right-hand one is looking to the south. And what's the like the complex in front of the lake? Yeah, that'll be West Michigan, yeah. And I included this photo that Alan sent me. That's known as the project. And what's the project? Water desalination. Actually, it is fresh water anyway, isn't it? Oh, right. So it's sort of a power station. Anyway, Alan sent in this other photo, and I've included it tonight because just to show that Lake Michigan isn't always flat calm. That's SS Badger, a really large ship car ferry that goes across the lake. And on a really bad stormy day on Lake Michigan. So I don't know how often it gets that stormy, Alan, but was quite a contrast to the photograph on the right. "420 feet long and 90 feet wide." The SS Badger. It's a huge ship. So how often in the year would the lake be like that, Alan? Just 2 or 3 times? Oh my goodness. Waves that break over the lighthouse. I'm repeating what you say in case anyone's watching the video later before the comments are there. So Alan, how many times a year roughly would the lake have weather like that? Alan's got his own boat too, which he sails on the lake several weeks a year. Wow. Gee, that'd be scary. Several weeks a year during winter. Okay, Walter sent these photos in, and I thought I'd just include them. They're photos of boots he bought for his bike from Harley Davidson. They at least they protect the ankle, which is good, and they look fairly hard on the toe, which is good. Oh, 75, that's not that long ago either. Well, 45 years. A 720-foot ship sunk in the lake. Your son wore the boots or the face mask. They and I think they were on special too, on sale, which was good. Oh, well, he liked the boots, didn't he? Did you show your son your bike? Yeah, I know, Alan. They were zippered on the side, laces and zips. You probably wouldn't have to undo the laces with the zips there. Your son would have looked funny in those bigger boots. Yeah, oh, that's a good one. Good one, Walter. Just use the zips. And then I've included 3 photos of mine. These were my 2 rides during the week. One was to the Story Bridge in the city of Brisbane. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the videos, but Keith asked me to Keith asked me to go to ride to the Story Bridge, so I did so. And it was a public holiday that day, which meant the city was pretty quiet, which was really good. And the other ride I did today. That's 40 kilometres there and back. And let's see, to Underwood Park. And never been there before, and it was quite nice. I sat there for almost an hour, had lunch and cigarettes, and it's just really pleasant. Plus, in the warmth of the sun. Yeah, you're right, Alan. It is busy riding in the city. I'm not really keen riding where there's a lot of traffic. All right. Well, I'm not sure which video you're talking about, Walter, but if it's the Story Bridge, there's a longer version, 17 minutes, where I ride through the city as well, and the shorter version, 7 minutes, where I just go to the bridge. Yeah, you did say it, yeah. Yeah, well, when you're riding in a lot of traffic, you just have to have your eyes everywhere, as we'll see with Alan's short video later. You just got to be prepared for anything to happen. There are some really bad drivers on the road. And the other thing that I've started this last week, as you know, we do crash videos in the live stream. So I decided to release short videos, 2-3 minute videos of the crash, motorcycle crashes. I've called it motorcycle crash discussions. Yeah, that's right, Helen. Yeah, I almost run over an Asian girl. I think she must have been like a student at the university or something. And she saw me at the last minute and took a step back off the road. Yeah, so I'm doing these motorcycle crash discussion videos, and so I've released 6 last week, but from tomorrow I'll be releasing 1 per week on a Thursday after live stream. So the crash videos I release will be a week behind those we do on the live stream that week. Anyway, I'm hoping people will find that helpful. Actually, the traffic in the city of Brisbane gets a lot worse than that. Like I said, it was a public holiday, so it wasn't too bad. Ah, yeah, Walter. Well, that's just at the start. Uh, I've been riding for 8 months now in this stretch on biking, and so I was more comfortable riding in the traffic. But if it had been a regular working day with really heavy traffic, I wouldn't have been too keen about that. But I would have done it, I'm sure. Yeah, well, that's true, Alan. With a louder exhaust than the stock exhaust, people can hear you a lot more easily. Train horn. Actually, that's what I was thinking about, that young woman who stepped out in front of my bike. If I'd had the Djokovic exhaust on, she would have heard me. uh, okay, I'll just quickly bring up the Hall of Fame. Hasn't changed from last week. Oh, the news about Eddie. I was speaking to Eddie earlier, and his bike is now in Perth, and he'll be getting it Monday afternoon. So he's pretty excited about that. He said he'd ride a 250 once or twice first before climbing onto the 650. He rode a 400cc bike about 30 odd years ago, 25 odd years ago. So he's got biking experience. But yeah, it's really good. He's getting his bike Monday afternoon. Oh, Walter, have you got a name for your bike yet? Not yet. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's pretty good. You and Eddie getting your bikes about the same time, and going through the same experiences about the same time of learning to ride your new bike. uh, well, that's a good thing anyway, isn't it? That if the Djokovic exhaust scares the birds and deer, away from your bike. You can see why they have turkeys for Thanksgiving if they don't run that fast. Yeah, that's right. It's the capital city all by itself on the coast on the west side of Australia. Uh, the Adelaide is in the centre in the south, and Darwin is in the centre in the north. But Perth is way over to the west all by itself. Never been there, but it's a really good looking modern city, and they're spending even more money on infrastructure there. In fact, I think I'm right in saying this. There's more millionaires per head of population in Perth than anywhere else in Australia. Ah, but Sydney would have a lot too. But I think I'm right in saying that about Perth. So it must be a desirable place to live. The thing about the thing about Perth is it's nice land around it for a couple of hundred, maybe 400 kilometres, 200 miles or so. 300 miles or so. And then the rest of Western Australia, which is almost half of Australia, is all desert and arid. So you really had trouble catching turkeys for Thanksgiving. Is there anywhere in the outback to live? Uh, well, there's no real major cities. I suppose Alice Springs. Oh, there's Mount Isa. That's a mining town. And there's Broken Hill, that's another mining town. I'm not sure their populations, but Broken Hill is a fair sized city, town. I wouldn't call it a city. And from what I remember, Mount Isa is a fair decent size too. I wouldn't really like to hazard a guess, maybe 50, 60,000, maybe. I don't know. They're actually a mining town, so. No, I suppose for the bigger towns, you're probably looking inland Victoria and New South Wales where it's still green. Mount Isa is in Western Queensland, and Broken Hill is far western New South Wales, far west of the state, near the state border of South Australia. Broome is in the northern part of Western Australia on the coast, and again, I'm not sure what size town that is, but that's where Eddie's bike came from, and now that's I'm pretty sure they have a port there, so there's a lot of exports from there. I've seen on TV these large cattle stations in like arid areas of Australia. Uh, you know, hundreds of kilometres cattle stations, and I wouldn't want to live there, but people live there and make a living there. Anyway, what's the next thing? Oh yes, this is unchanged from last week too, so I'll just put up quickly. There's Wanted Dead or Alive. I'm hoping to get Eddie's photo there soon, but we'll see. Okay, so I go to the first viewer video. This is Walter's first ride. Yeah, I don't blame you for having your feet down water or and just taking it easy. Your first ride, making sure you had your balance right. Thanks for sending that video in. Yeah, it must have felt good doing that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Getting used to the throttle and the clutch and the brakes. Got to go slow and safely. Is there a bigger car park close by? Actually, I think you said there was a bigger car park close by. All right. Yeah, because you can't really get our first gear there. And after a couple of times, you'd probably be keen to go at least a second. Yeah. Well, you could always use the police station car park, I suppose. Yeah, well, of course, you need to get our first gear, but I used to ride around the block here. Okay, well, I'll show the other viewer video. This is one that Alan sent in. This one's a bit of a worry. I'll just pause it for a second. This one's a bit of a worry because this is just so easy to happen. And anyway, I'll show the video and Alan can tell us about. Yeah, that's right. Trouble is, I'm not sure if there's room for you to get to second gear where you are at the present time, Walter. Anyway, you'll sort something out. Oh, it's Pentwater. Ah, you did tell me that. See, I was thinking it might have been your town. Anyway, I'll just play it. A 25 mile per hour speed limit. So I think I've got it in slower motion. So the car, you couldn't see the car because of the parked vehicles. And this car just pulled out on you without looking. It's just as well I had such a low speed limit. She looked at you, she knew you were there, but went anyway. Yeah, well, that's the thing about us motorcyclists. We can't make allowances for poor driving of other people. Well, we have to. We have to make allowances for it. But it's just not right. It's just fortunate there was no oncoming traffic. I mean, you see Alan riding down here, parked vehicles everywhere, and there's no way he could have seen what she was going to do until the very last moment. Yeah. Actually, it's almost like she saw you coming and thought, okay, now I'll go. Yeah, I had to do that once on my bike a couple of months ago. In that instance, I was turning right and the car came out. Even though he knew he had to give way, he just came out in front of me. So I had to brake to a stop. Yeah. So that is what we have to make allowances for. That's why when I was saying about riding in the city of Brisbane. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's what I was saying about riding in the city of Brisbane. Your eyes have to be everywhere to make allowances for other people's mistakes or bad judgment. You haven't had anything else like that happen, have you, Alan? That's the only time, isn't it? Oh, you've had that, have you? People running red lights, people jumping the lights. Oh, this was the only bad experience so far, yeah. Yeah, well, I've just had the one too. But you always have to be alert. Yeah. Well, they know if they hit the bike, they know the bike will be worse off, not them. The other instance I had was on the motorway where a big truck, was supposed to give way but didn't, just forced his way out. And it was a choice of braking and letting him in. I was halfway along the truck, alongside him, and he should have given way to me. So the choice was brake and drop back or be killed. So, of course, I dropped and dropped back, let him in. Well, tonight's crash video is along similar lines. Yes, yes, Walter. Yeah, well, that's true, Alan. Yeah, don't let your emotions or anger get away with you. Just be grateful that you're still on your bike. So here's this chap riding along. I'll just pause it here for a second. Can you see from this footage here, this photo here, why he would drop his bike a few seconds later? What possible thing should you be making allowance for even at this point? I'll just play it again so you can see the speeds. Something on the pavement. Shade also, yeah. So you got a car in the centre lane, a car in the far left lane, and you've got you're in your own third lane. Yeah, it looks like the road might be a bit wet there. Okay, I'll let it run now. That's how quickly it can happen. Uh, if I know he didn't, the motorcyclist essentially didn't do anything wrong, but he needed to be alert to anything. That car pulled out from the right, and perhaps you could tell that the car was maintaining a slow speed compared to the other vehicles. And when someone's going slow, you don't know what they're going to do. They were pulling into a car park from the centre lane. Well, I think the bike was far enough back so that he should have seen the bike in the rear vision mirror. Yes, that's the thing. If a car's going slow, uh, then they're not really sure where they're going. Yes, well, the thing about his swerving, I'll just take it back here. What he does is pretty close to the car, isn't he? And going a decent speed. But what he does is he jams the handlebars left. Did you see it there? He's trying to get round him and he turns the handlebars hard left, trying to get round instead of counter steering. If he'd counter steered, he would have pushed the left handlebar forward and the bike would have leant to the left to go around the car. But he didn't counter steer, he was probably braking while steering. Yeah, it could have been as well. He jammed the handlebars left to the left and the bike dropped because it was a bit like jackknifing the bike. That's what I think anyway. I'll just show that bit again. A bit like we were saying, where you look, the bike goes. And when he jammed the handlebars to the left, the bike just dropped. The only thing he could have been aware of, he was so close behind the car, he should have seen that the car was going slow. And he could have observed that there was a car park there and perhaps this entrance to the car park. And if you had the car park up in the entrance with the car going slow, then he may have worked out in advance what was going to happen. See, lane position 1. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Lane position 1, Alan's saying to the far left-hand side of the lane that he's in. And at that very point, he should have seen that the car was going to come into his lane. I'll just take it back a second. See how the car's turning? So about there, he should have, which would have given him ample room to go around him. Yes, that's true, Walter. Yeah. Alan said that grabbing the front brake versus progressive braking will cause the front to skid out. But I think the key to this is anticipation. And if he'd anticipated earlier, he wouldn't have been in that situation. It's about there that it's starting to, where was it? It's about there that he's starting to do something. Of course, there's a reaction time. But with the speed he's travelling, you know, that's so close to the car. There. That's where he starts to turn the handlebars. And that's a better picture. And you can see how close he is to almost hitting the car, actually, with the speed he was going. In the video, the driver of the car comes over and checks on him. Yeah, well, he obviously did panic. Are you meaning with practicing swerving, Walter? I think you're right if that's what you're saying, because I don't practice swerving, but in a situation like that, practice would certainly help. Yeah, practicing everything. I'll just show it one more time. Anyway, it's good to see these types of videos so that we can be aware ourselves of what can happen before it happens. Yeah, well, I'll be releasing this one tomorrow week as its own video. Yeah, that's true, Alan. If no one's behind you, you can practice your counter steering. I must admit I don't, but I should. Because that's the only way. And when the situation comes up where you need to swerve and counter steer, if you don't have the practice behind you, you'll mess it up for sure. Okay, I'll just go to this week's funny video.
No, 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 no. Look at the.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of your roads, Alan, and some of them are pretty bad. Yeah, you're right. No helmet. No helmet. That guy's laughter is incredible. Then I really laughed when he ran after the vehicle. I thought that was really funny. Yeah, come back, little Sue. Come back. Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh. You know, guys, we've just been going for an hour and 3 minutes. The time goes really quick, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, oh, excuse me a sec. Yeah, if you guys come across funny videos or crash videos that you'd like to look at in the live stream, send them in to me. And if you want to send in your viewer videos like you did last week, that'd be really great. And also photos of what you're doing. We can put it all in the live stream. Okay, well, I'll just show the last two videos I show every week. Quaker John has a website. One way of going to the website is to Google Quaker John. Another way is by going to the top right hand corner of my YouTube channel page, and there you'll see Quaker John website. Click on that and it will take you to the website. On the website you may click on to the YouTube channel or to the Facebook page. On the Quaker John website, among other things, there is the merchandise page where you may purchase Quaker John merchandise if you wish. And you may also support the channel financially if you wish. Quaker John is on Facebook. There are two ways of reaching Quacker John's Facebook page. If you go to Facebook and enter Quacker John in the search, then you will go to the Quacker John Facebook page. Or you may go to my YouTube channel and in the top right hand corner you will see the Facebook symbol. If you click on this symbol, then it will take you to Quacker John on Facebook. On the Quacker John Facebook page, I'll be talking about my rides and rides coming up and other interesting information. The guys have gathered to the chat group on the Quacker John Facebook page where they meet and greet. If you are a subscriber of the channel, you are most welcome to join us. Become a friend of Quacker John on Facebook. Yeah, the live stream is good fun. Thanks very much, guys, for joining in, because it wouldn't happen without you guys joining in. Walter, you still there? When's your MSF class? I think from memory it might be about 6 weeks away. I'll just put up the second last screen and hopefully Walter's there to answer your question, Alan. Yeah, there we go. End of September. Yeah, so that's about 5 weeks away. So Quacker John is on Facebook. You just saw the Facebook video. To send in view photos, my email is john@quackerjohn.com.au and my website address is www.quackerjohn.com.au. Yeah, so you got 5 weeks of slowly learning on your bike before the class. Alan did his MSF class. When was it, Alan? About 6 weeks ago? Maybe a bit longer. I don't know, $16, that's a lot of money. October 1st. Something, oh yeah. Oh, are you getting there, Alan? We had a third person join us momentarily. I guess I saw we were at the end of the live stream and left. A stamp. They send out a new plastic license to us. It's like a credit card with all this embedded security on it. I'll just put up the last screen.